Yo, did you already do the snap?
Yes, I did.
Oh, so we're live.
Correct, yes.
We're good.
So we just had Art Pan on. Thoughts? What'd you guys think?
Oh, is this like a continuation though of like our
Maybe.
pan episode maybe?
No, it's just the start talk. Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't know what the people thought. Jen, what did you think?
Well, I think it was really refreshing because being somebody who wasn't into politics for most of my life until the pandemic, and then I started to get more involved in things and started to pay attention to things. And when I listened to him talk, he doesn't sound like a typical politician.
No, he doesn't at
You
all.
know, he just sounds like a human being, a father who cares about the future for his children. And he brought me a lot of hope in where things can go, and rather than just spewing awful things about the other party, it felt like that there's a sense of direction.
I find that interesting how you said that too about how he doesn't like. Of course, he said that he said some things about Justin Trudeau, but he's not like he like, think about this. There's so many things he could say about Justin Trudeau. Like he could just throw so much fuel on that fire. And he's really just talking about their platform and what they're going to do to make the change and switch us back on course.
Well, it's also we're looking at what has been done and what's not working. And if you look at how we've been living and how our society is going, and it's very evident the changes to our communities, our country in the past several years, that it's been going downhill, that we've left the city because it's not safe.
No.
There's so much like I had to leave my office building, which is in a beautiful heritage building in a very high-end part of the city, because people were thieving.
No, they were like, there was a homeless guy living underneath your porch.
Yeah, and taking stuff off the property and then sitting, and they were shooting up drugs on the picnic table where I had my lunch. So like it we've seen drastic changes over the past
8 years.
Yeah, but even shortly after the pandemic. And so what's been in place isn't working. It's very evident. It's very clear.
It's very clear that if you don't have any rules and you let people get away with murder, they will take advantage of the system.
Because we've lost our moral compass.
And I like that Arpan said that you know,
Yeah.
he said that our country's lost its values.
Yeah.
And it has lost values. Our government is literally like the little kid at school that everybody hated in the class that screamed till he got his own way.
Yeah.
And everybody hates him secretly, but they just walk on eggshells and they're nice to him because it's the right thing to do because we're Canadians and we're polite. That's what fucking got us here.
Yep.
And that's why I always say, yes, I know that we should be nice and respectful and kind, but we have to...
We still have boundaries.
I hope we've learned a lesson that we
Yeah.
have to like call out people's behavior. Sometimes when it gets to a point where it's like, okay, look, we've been nice. We really want you to succeed, Johnny. But you know what? If you keep acting this way, people won't like you. You're not going to succeed in life. We can be as nice as we want to you, but you still have learning. You still have to learn. You still have to treat us a certain way. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, today's episode is not about any of that. It is about
Trans 2. Dun, dun, dun.
Trans 2.
I think actually I would like to label this detransitioning today.
Nice.
I think we should just label it detransitioning.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of like trans part 2, I think this episode is
The
primarily...
other part of the story.
Yeah, absolutely right. The other part of transitioning is detransitioning, because the numbers are out there that there's a huge percentage of detransitioners. We just don't hear a lot about data, facts, because it's just being buried.
Right.
The studies exist, the science is out there. It's just not what suits the narrative. So the squeaky wheel gets the grease. We're not hearing about it. I mean, there's this girl, Chloe Cole. Maybe get your phone.
Yeah.
I need you to look that up. Chalk on Instagram. It's like Chalk something. Chloe. Anyway, she's a beautiful young girl. She's in her early 20s, and her parents experienced the would you rather have a dead daughter or an alive son?
Yep.
And so she's 13 and she starts going through the transition, the puberty blockers, and then has a double mastectomy. And I think at 16, maybe she had the double mastectomy.
Wow.
And have you found her yet?
No. Is it Chloe? You think it's Chalk?
I don't know why I feel like her Instagram handle is Chalk,
That's okay.
but it's not okay.
Why don't
Keep
you look
looking.
it up?
Yeah, okay, fine.
Take a look.
But she's basically one of these detransitioners that they don't want to talk about, they don't want to hear from.
Right.
And she speaks out quite a bit. She's spoken at the Senate and she's been on committee hearings. And she just talks about how basically she was taken advantage of. And her parents were put in a position where they weren't allowed to advocate for her because they were only hearing the narrative that if they didn't go along with what she wanted, that she would die, that she would kill herself. And they knew that she wasn't a boy. They knew that this behavior, we talked about in the last episode that there are 100%, a very small percentage of people, but not that small, that are born with sexual
Like, are you speaking about the intersex?
intersex folks, yeah. So they're born with certain characteristics that can put them into a position where they could be
They're born with defects, like genital defects.
So, like again, just for reference, a boy with a small penis might be raised as a girl because they think that this is going to look more normal. But that's not how it works. Like, it's just not about deciding what you are. We've already talked about this, right? So this young girl felt like she was really manipulated and taken advantage of, and when she needed actual mental health care, she was just given affirmative care, which she didn't need. She said she says now, like, it was all about getting what I wanted and not what I needed. And anyways, it's really interesting. So
we both have been following detransitioner stories because a lot have that are older who have gone through the process and have significant health consequences because of several surgeries, and now realizing who they are as an adult are speaking out, and their voices are being I don't want to say censored, but their voices aren't being taken seriously.
Yep.
check your thing now.
Check my thing.
Check your account.
All right.
Okay, so yeah, Chloe Cole, she's 19, female, XX, former trans kid, started T blockers at 13, double mastectomy at 15, detransed at 16. And I've listened to her talk extensively. She's got permanent damage to, I don't believe she can breastfeed. Obviously, I don't believe she'll ever be able to breastfeed, which she's pretty devastated about.
Wow.
So I think that, she talks a little bit about what's going to be up and coming for this next generation of kids that are all going to be going through this detransitioning. Wow. Because we are going to have an exuberant amount of, because we know, I think intersex people are 1 in 20,000. So that's fine. Okay. But we're talking about, last week, Ontario, actually can't believe this, but at a volleyball game in college at Seneca College last week in Ontario, there was 5 or 6 trans women playing on both teams.
That's crazy.
Okay? So what? 1 in 20,000 people are born intersex, but at the Seneca volleyball team, there's 5 or 6 starting players that are trans women. So it was actually really funny because when they covered the story, you're watching it and all of the girls are on the sideline. The one team is 3 on one side and there's just 6 girls or 8 girls and they're all just on the sidelines, chatting, and while these huge guys just fucking take over the game.
Wow.
That's not, the numbers just don't add up. This is how you know it's a mental illness. This is what makes it scary and sad when I don't know if she's the mayor of Cambridge, but whoever this bitch is that was at the council meeting of video that we watched, I'm sure a lot of you listeners at this point are going to have heard of this. It circled around. This is right now we're recording the March 5th week, or I don't know, it's the 8th right now. It's this lady in Cambridge, Ontario, and she's a fucking hero. and she gives this speech about this new Cambridge Recreation Center that's going to have gender neutral change rooms. Just a big wide open space with, are you ready for this? The actual word on the architecture drawing are grooming quarters.
Grooming quarters.
So so this lady gets up and she starts to like discuss her discomfort and her opposition to this situation. The mayor just cuts her off after she says grooming.
Well, because she went to describe what grooming means, and the mayor shuts her down and then kicks her out.
Whoa.
And then she had asked for security to escort her.
Wow.
And then the room is in such a rage because I think there's quite a few people there waiting to speak in opposition.
Yep. And
then she starts to scream at the crowd and says, like, if you don't get under control, we're going to recess or close the meeting.
And she did. She sent them into recess and said, like, there needs to be respect in this room.
Wow.
Right. So she says there needs to be respect, but she cuts, the lady that was reading,
she was calm.
so composed. She goes, you need to get your heart rate down and we need to just calm down. And the lady goes, yeah, no, I'm
good.
I'm good. Like,
but the mayor wasn't.
And so she's talking to her about respect, but she cuts her off and won't let her finish her speech and then says, we demand respect here. But wait a minute. What do you mean? So if my opinion isn't the same as your opinion, then that's disrespect.
Anyways, it was very evident that the mayor was very uncomfortable with the obvious being pointed out, that she couldn't handle the conversation, had to shut it down and use her authority to overpower the situation, rather than having a member of her community, which is her right.
Yep.
And she was calm and she was being civil and respectful. She's allowed to
Have an opinion.
Where her tax dollars are going.
Yep.
Her tax dollars
That's
are
what those
paying
meetings
for it.
are for.
Wow.
Our tax dollars are paying for that. So if we're showing we don't agree with what you're doing and we want to have our voices heard, we are allowed to do that.
Yep.
I really liked what Arpan said on the last episode about that we need to have more discourse, that we can't even have discussions anymore. And whether we agree on everything, which I mean, we really did pretty well agree on everything, but whether we agree on everything or not, we have to have conversations.
That's right.
That is democracy. But,
That is democracy.
But like, I don't understand the Democrats, the liberals want to not do that. They're always shutting down the conversation. That's what I find so fascinating that people don't see. Like, there's this client that I have, and we're on social media together, and we very much disagree, but I do a damn good job, so she fucking hires me, because otherwise she should hate me. But she posted this thing about Donald Trump, and like I said, are you sure that you're not just wrong? Like, are you sure that it can't be possible that you're wrong, right? Because the whole premise of the post was like, how can this be happening? How can he be the number one candidate again? And I was like, because that's what the people want. Like, that's who the polls are based on, what people want. How, like, are you sure at this point that you're not wrong? The overwhelming majority of Canadians are going conservative. It's like 80% in the poll.
Man.
Wow.
Okay, and in the States, it's the same. So are you sure that you're not wrong?
Crazy. Have you seen the graph where since COVID, females are more liberal and males are more conservative? Have you seen that?
Yeah, and have you ever seen the poll that shows that conservative women are hot and liberal women are ugly? That's a fact.
Facts.
I'm telling you right now that every fucking liberal is like a fat girl with red or green hair, and they have piercings, and did I mention they're fat?
Blue or purple hair.
Yeah, purple hair. You're right, actually. That's true. You are 100% right. And did I mention they're fat, and they always have tights on, and their stomachs are always coming out of their shirts, and they're always protesting at things that they don't really have any invested interest in, like they don't have kids because nobody wants to sleep with them. Mm-hmm. The only women that they are married to are trans, and they're actually trans men, so they're women, so they're just other lesbians. These are all facts. Fact check me, Snoops. Is it Snopes?
Snopes.
I don't know.
It's Snopes. Yeah.
Look, I made a mistake.
I saw that Donald Trump on his Agenda 47. He wants to end gender affirming care for children, but also also for like adults.
Did you say that?
Really?
I'm actually surprised.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the actual thing
Are
right
you
now.
sure? Because he's always had a pretty like lenient stance that because he's from New York. I mean,
know.
there's lots of gays in New York and there's lots of trans. And he's always said like if you're an adult, do what you want to do. Just
Right.
don't let it impact me, right? So I'd be surprised that he said that he would want to end gender affirming care for adults as well.
For both. I know that's why I was so
I think gender affirming care in general is dangerous.
Fair.
So I think
Period,
I think that might be the discrepancy versus like
Living as a yeah, okay. fair
yeah,
enough.
like because that would mean like all healthcare professionals are just affirming that
Right,
you're
they're
in the
not
wrong
treating
body.
any mental
they're
health.
not treating the mental health.
Right.
They're not going to the root cause. They're not actually supporting
Right.
the actual factors that are at
Right.
play. That they're just
Right.
focusing on this one topic
Right,
and
like-
basing all issues around it.
Right. Like question number 1. Were you born intersex? No. Okay. Perfect. There's a really good chance that you are mentally ill and or suffer autogynephilia.
Or what's your support system like? What's your family like? What was your upbringing like?
What's your childhood like? What kind of traumas? Like, okay, you know the Navy SEAL, Chris Beck?
Yeah.
Chris Beck, Christine, she went by Christine Beck for a while. He went by, okay, I'm going to give you this quick. He's this like high ranking Marine who at like an older age, like in his 30s, went to the doctor because he had severe PT. Like this guy's served in all kinds of operations. He's a super high level guy. One interview with this doctor, and she said he was a woman trapped in a man's body, and within one session he was on hormone blockers. Wow. And I guess not hormone blockers, my bad, estrogen, testosterone blockers, T blockers.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then within like a very short period of time had surgery. Okay. And
Wow.
then was living as a woman. He's been on Joe Rogan. I've literally listened to like probably over 12, 13 hours of this guy talk. Yep. He talks about how when he was little, his dad was super abusive, but the sisters didn't get abused, but he got sexually and physically abused. So he would want to be his sisters because they weren't getting abused. So I think when he went to the doctor to talk about this situation, and she says, tell me about your childhood, and he says, I used to dress up like my sister, boom.
Oh,
That's it.
Yeah.
Not about the fact that they didn't get beat and he got beat, and then he went into a trade where he was just going to get beat. And that's all he took his whole life was just beating after beating after beating after beating this poor fucking guy.
Oh my gosh.
It's just, honestly, it's like a heartbreaking story. And anyway, he luckily he meets a girl, and she really helps him. I think actually maybe they're both in, he's actually a therapist now. Like this guy's gone to school to be
Wow.
a counselor of some kind. And that, I think he met her there. And so they've kind of helped each other, and she's really supportive to him, and he lives back as a man now, but obviously he's got some irreparable damage because I do believe he had his penis removed.
Wow.
But I'm not 100% sure.
So I think you're right. So President Trump's plan to protect children from left-wing gender insanity. So I think
See how fast the media spins it?
Yep.
Because I knew right away. I'm pretty educated on Trump. I read and I try to watch all of his conferences. I try to watch everything from start to finish because they spin everything so crazy.
They do.
And I know how he feels about trans. He's openly said, "Look, I don't care, but not kids.
Not kids.
Kids can't make that kind of a decision. 100%. When you turn 18 and you move out, you do you. And if you can pay for the surgery, cool." That's kind of his stance on it.
Interesting.
I think. Sorry, can you just say that again, though?
You're right.
What? No, yeah, that's good.
You're right.
I just do like hearing that.
No, I was going to say I think I went through somewhat of like a mental detransition because growing up, I feel like I was on the path to transition, and I'm not. I can't pinpoint the exact moment. But I was like,
when you met me,
when I met you 20 years later, no. But I I don't know what it was, but I was like, no, I'm here in this life as a female and I'm good.
It's so interesting that you would have now. Okay, do you think that because you're still a bit older, like you're 30?
32.
Okay, so do you feel though, like if right now today,
Yeah.
you were a teenager going through this, is there any way that you could have been not had that light bulb go off?
Definitely, especially with like they're
Yeah.
pushing it. It's more like we were talking about our first like the movies, watching like our
Oh,
first
yeah.
lesbian.
Yeah.
And mine was the L Word.
The L Word.
In like grade 7 or 8, and there was, I think, like one of the first transgender female to like male characters on TV, and I was like, yeah, I identify with that person right
Felt
there.
relatable to that.
See?
Right?
And
Yeah.
so when we talk about it, I tell you that I didn't really have that struggle because we didn't have any of those characters when I was growing up.
Yeah.
If there was a lesbian, they were a butch. And I wasn't. I was definitely a tomboy.
Right.
But I didn't want to be like, I'm not trying to be mean, but I didn't want to be like a fucking because the butches, look, when I was growing up, butches were around hockey rinks. They were generally from the country. They were bigger women with huge tits, poor girls, all the time. Butches had huge tits.
With the motorcycles,
Like whatever. They always had hockey
the jeans.
100%. They always
Jean
had
vest.
hats on.
Yeah.
They always wore hats, and they either had no hair or like mullet hair. And that wasn't attractive to me. So I was like, well, I'm not a lesbian. So I'm just a tomboy. But I guarantee that. And again, there's no lesbian character for me. The only lesbian character I can relate to is Busy from Ready or Not. And my brother Mitch used to always call me Busy. So I had to get as far away from Busy as possible.
Right.
So I was never going to identify as that. But if there was like a hot lesbian on a show, I might be like, like if the chick from the Dukes of Hazzard was like,
End up
they're
being
like,
gay?
oh, that's a lesbian. I'd be like, yeah, me too. Like, I like her. It just wasn't there for me. So that's what I mean. How quickly it went from like, okay, to like now
Everybody.
like there was always a lesbian and a gay in your school. We know that. We know statistically that one in like we get that. Okay. But like all of a sudden, as soon as the programs start heating up and they start pushing it in the early to mid 2000s, this is your age. Now we suddenly have this. We've never seen girls wanting to be boys ever before. Not like this, not in these numbers. Maybe the 1 in 20 intersex thousand.
Not like this, though.
Not like this. And then in 2018, 2020, it just gets hammered. And now you have 5 or 6 trans women playing college volleyball in Ontario, Canada.
Wild.
There's no fucking way.
No.
There's no fucking way. It's impossible.
I played hockey for 18, 19 years, and I was like the only gay person on the team. But today, there's more than half of the team
100%.
that is gay.
Yeah.
I was like, where the fuck were you guys back then?
Yeah,
First of all,
interesting.
yeah,
They're not gay. They're not gay. I mean, look, some of them are.
Yeah.
For sure, some of them are. But they're not gay. And you know when people say it's just because they weren't allowed to be comfortable? No, I just think like there was probably a lot more people that I think it's like fluid. Like I think that you're just like most people are probably bisexual in a way where it's like most people like people.
Yeah,
And if
100%.
I meet a girl that I'm attracted to physically or I meet a guy that I'm physically attracted to, I'm attracted to that person.
Yep.
But just because you can say that sexuality is a spectrum doesn't mean that gender is a spectrum, or I should say sexual. Remember we talked about that in the last episode? It was like sex. Sex isn't a spectrum.
male,
Sex
female.
isn't a
Yeah.
spectrum. It's biological. It's male, female. Gender, okay, gender's not a real thing. We made it up in like the 80s. But if you want to say that I'm more of like a tomboy, a masculine female, fine. I am. Yeah, okay. I'm more of like a masculine female. But I don't have a desire to be a man. I don't want to be a man.
Yep.
And I just don't think that we had that. This issue is just because it's like I do believe it's a social contagion. I just believe it's like all the fucking weird kids who are trying to figure themselves out, which have always been, are just
Well,
heading here now.
they would have been emo.
They would have been emo. They would have been science nerds. They would have been because usually they're autistic. That's a you should look it up, people. That's 100% data. That's not me making it up. A lot of these trans kids are autistic.
Wow.
That's a fact. They go to the thing. That's what autistic kids do. They obsess.
They hyper focus on something.
So instead of giving them fucking science or robotics to focus on, you're giving them gender ideology, and then they can't stop focusing on it.
Well, because of like Instagram, TikTok as well.
Dude.
Like it's just.
Listen.
It's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's in advertisements and algorithms. Kids are flooded with gender and sex and all this stuff.
It's gross.
Everywhere. Like, I forget where this was a few years back, but we were on, I don't know, the internet doing something, and an ad popped up around take the quiz to find out what sexual preference you are.
Okay, you have to know that this is also at a time though where we were doing Snapchat one night, and we didn't really do Snapchat, but we went on Snapchat, and they had this guy one where you could like change your gender, and this was before I was really aware of this stuff. Okay, like this was, I'm awake but not really to that. I'm still LGBTQ kind of stuff, right? And we start taking these pictures, and I looked good. Like,
yeah, she was like a very handsome man.
I looked good, and
Yeah.
then I literally said to Jen, I was like, Am I trans? I 100% asked her that. Am I trans?
Oh my God.
And she goes, you're not fucking trans. Like, snapped me right. And I was like, what? And she's like, just like, you're not trans.
You just dress more masculine.
Yeah.
And I had such a hard time with that. I was like, and she's like, you dress androgynous. And I go, what? Like, can you please explain this to me so I'm not a boy? She's like, you had a baby. Like, you're not a man. You just dress more masculine. That's what you like to do.
Yeah.
Oh, like, this is how much conditioning though was being put on us that I was like, maybe
You're questioning yourself.
like, it was so fucked. And I was such a fucking like woman. Like, it was so weird.
Do you remember my picture as
Yes, and you looked like a fag.
I look super gay.
She looked like the
super gay
gayest
guy.
of all gay guys. It was amazing. Like a little Spanish Latino, like
God.
who would be the
like
bottom.
in theater school, kind of like
Bottom.
Yeah.
I still have the picture somewhere.
Total
in
beta.
if I could just find the date. She looked like a bottom, 100%.
Perfect.
Yep. And it's funny because like she said anytime I like, it's like it's happened before. I don't know how, remember you said something like, every time I do this, I always look like a gay guy or something.
Oh, whenever I have to be a man.
That's what she said. I'm like, how many times have you ever had to be a man?
Oh,
Like,
I've dressed
what are
up
you
as
talking
men for
about?
like theater stuff or like
that's
for
so
plays or something, and I've always looked so gay.
Oh my God.
I always
That's
look
so
just
funny.
like full on gay guy.
I looked
like, very
good.
feminine.
Like, I looked good. Like, I would be like, I wouldn't have a hard time getting laid. I don't think.
I wish we could put
Although I'm so short, I would totally.
I think
have a
we have
hard
saved
time.
that photo. I think I have that
We
photo
do
saved.
have them.
We
somewhere.
should definitely post
Let's
that
post them.
for this episode.
We can post it. I've never deleted an Instagram post.
Wow.
So anything that and I think that's really important because you can see how far and how much you change.
Yep.
True.
So
Like it's a scrapbook. Like
100%.
I keep mine as a scrapbook. My
100
Instagram.
but so do I.
Yeah.
Like when
memories, like, it's-
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I still have pictures of like me and Evelyn's dad on there.
Oh my God,
Like
yeah.
I have pictures of I'm not gonna like that's part of my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know.
Like
Like everybody I've been with, yeah, they're all there.
oh really?
Oh yeah. Fuck.
Yeah, interesting.
All the girlfriends.
Scrapbook.
We don't have crazy wives then. They're like, take that picture of your ex down.
No, it's the past.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's wild.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Wow.
So what?
I was gonna say, so what? Like currently, we're seeing that huge shift. Will the pendulum come back?
It's coming back right now. 80% conservative.
It's and
Danielle Smith,
and
Alberta.
detransitioners speaking out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Danielle Smith,
Yeah.
what happened in Alberta, Polyev coming out and saying Danielle Smith's statement isn't radical. It's common sense. Him doing that as the leader of the Conservative Party and the Conservative Party being 80-20, right? Or I think it's like 90-10, man. It's crazy. That's it right there. The pendulum is swinging back.
Yep.
It's just, can it swing back fast enough? Like, can we get that's what one thing I didn't ask Arpan was like, because his associate lady had mentioned before that there was going to be an election. Like, but we haven't heard anything about an election. Like, what's going on? Like, I was hoping that there was going to be an early election called, but I don't know.
I hope there is. I hope there is, because it's the energy has changed. Our country has changed.
Yeah.
I mean, we were liberal years ago, and then I think more
always
and more,
been liberal.
my parents are liberal. My parents still are liberal.
So am I.
But like my colleagues that are social workers who've worked in the public sphere that have always been liberal, because we've also relied on public funding to do the work that we do. And they're all switching to conservatives because they're seeing the hypocrisy with everything.
And something that Arpan said that was interesting about the bills and about, like, just for example, that lunch program, I 100% read those headlines, so I know that's true. And I was just thinking it was more like that they didn't want to, the conservatives didn't table it because of the money. Like, conservatives are more conservative. Like, we have so much debt right now. We're not funding new programs. But what he said was so fascinating about how it's not that we don't want to feed kids that are hungry. It's that the bill had nothing to do with that. It was about another data collection. We know.
You know what it feels like?
Make a change.
The liberals are like a young teenager that's been given credit cards.
Oh my God.
Like,
oh my God.
And just like compulsive spending, and like, oh, I'm going to go on this trip. Oh, I'm going to do this trip. And then realizing, hey, you still got to pay that money back. And the conservatives are coming in as the parent to say, we need to be realistic.
Yeah.
And you need to be able to pay some of this back.
Yeah.
And we need to come up with a plan.
So funny that you would say that, because you don't know how many people over the years I've run into or worked with that want to rent a house from me. And that's the story that I get. They gave me, but it's a fact though. Listen, let's say that you're one of these kids that's raised in a house where, you're like, I think if you have parents that have a good head on your shoulder, maybe you it's hard to like fathom that people don't. So if you're one of these kids that grows up with parents that do not have a good head on their shoulder, and you're raised with chaos and like credit debt and no money, and you never know, and this and that, you turn 18. Some of those kids' parents even like trick them into getting credit cards so they can abuse their credit cards and stuff like that. So those kids then become adults that come to me wanting to rent a house, and then I'm like, I look at their credit and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you're so young. How could you already have such fucked up credit? And it's like, they gave me credit cards. I didn't know what to do. Like, it 100% is what liberals are. Liberals are young, typically. This is what I've been reading a lot more lately, is the older you get, the more conservative you become. And now that's starting to really resonate with me.
Same.
Because when you're young, you're wild, and you see things in rose-colored glasses, and you don't understand the world. When you're 18, 15, 13, and you're in high school and you think you're so old and you have all the freedom now, you have no fucking clue what it's like to have a home, a child, a mortgage, a spouse, grocery bills, vacations, car payments, maintenance. There's just so much that we're not prepared for. And so you come out with like these views of how you want the world to be, but you don't know what it's like to be in the world, to raise kids. And then as you get older and you do it and you take another step and you go a little further and a little further, it's like, oh my God, suddenly you're that person that's like, I liked the music when I was a kid. And then you realize this is just part of getting older. You start to see things differently now. Mm-hmm. Now you're understanding.
Perspective's shifting.
100%. Yeah. Like I remember thinking about how in the 90s when the boob law came into effect, I remember being in Grand Bend, and I remember there was a place called Coco's right on the strip, and it had these mannequins, and they had no tops, and their bikini tops were in the mannequin's hands. And it was when Ontario was trying to make it legal for women to go topless. And I can remember thinking, like, fucking right. Like fucking, I remember my dad
never.
thinking it was just my dad thinking it wasn't, or my dad kind of actually, I do remember my dad kind of laughing, being like, you know, but he goes, I don't think so. But I mean, depending on what they look like or something like that, maybe he said, like, he was like, it's not a good idea, but you know,
I ain't gonna say no.
but I remember thinking, like, if I have to look at, you know, this old guy with his big fat fucking tits and gut, why the fuck can't that lady have it hanging out? Like, what's the difference? And my brother used to get to walk her again. Here we go again with these young kid things going through your head. But my brother gets to have his top off. I hate having a top on at the beach and a shirt. I wanted to have my top off, like my brothers all did. You know what I mean?
Dude, I was 10, 11, maybe 12, and I was wearing just shorts
Yeah, interesting.
at the beach.
Right.
No one said anything.
Well, you wouldn't know, but my point is just that I thought I want to be equal to that too. I want to have that. And now, and this is coming from someone that went topless multiple times as an adult with nice big titties before my kid ruined them. And my look on that, like, I look like a Muslim lady when I go to the beach now. Like, I have like a long rashi on with like, I do still wear like the short like underwear things, but like normal bottoms. But I don't really do that anymore. Like I've changed so much. Like it's like the saying from that movie, Shannon Elizabeth from Never Been Kissed. She said, why would anybody buy the popsicle when you're giving away the ice cream truck for free?
True.
Like, why would they? You're showing me your cards for free right now. Why am I going to commit to you and take you out and date you? You just fucking let me look at your tits right now. It's so true.
I think about how much when I look at the younger version of me and would be more flaunty and wear the bikini and do those things. And I mean, I also like went to like topless. I went topless in Australia. I went nude in Australia. Like I went
You went nude. I went topless, but you went nude.
Well, I went topless at the regular beaches. I went nude at like where there was nobody around.
So does that count?
Well, I mean,
I was naked in an area where there was not one other single person.
well, I mean, there was a handful of people, but it wasn't like a public beach kind of like.
Were you naked in front of the people that you were there with, or strangers?
There was one other stranger.
Does it matter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like she's with a group of people and they're all naked, which I still think is weird. Or she's alone and there's 6 other random people and they're all naked. Do you know what I mean? That's
Which is
different.
weirder or
Yeah.
better? Okay.
I think it's all fucking weird. But like,
Anyways, looking back, part of me was like, it feels liberating, and the other part of me feels like I also feel disrespectful to myself.
right.
And when we were at the Pride Parade years ago with Avi, and I'm watching, you know, a couple women that are topless on the side of the road, I thought, oh, don't you have more respect for yourself?
And like there's kids around?
There's kids here. Like, what are you? That's not liberation. That's not what liberation looks like.
No.
That just doesn't feel like self-respect.
Yeah.
You have to learn to honor your body. Your body's your temple, and if you're out there flaunting it because I can, that's not liberation.
And again, I think we talked about this. She was not a fucking hot 22-year-old, perky-chested. They're fucking old, fat chicks that have saggy tits and big guts, and nobody wants to see them.
No, even there was younger women that were doing that, like younger women. But my feeling with the energy that I got from that was that they felt like, fuck yeah, I'm so cool. Like I can do this,
Right.
and this is what being a woman really is. And
Is it like getting a piercing for us 20 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you got to flaunt it now.
Right.
You got to show it off. I got my first tattoo. I can't wait to show it.
Right.
You know, like that's
Right.
the energy of it.
Tramp stamp. Well, I mean, look,
Yep.
look, it's literally what we're talking about, though. They're called fads. And
Yeah.
you knew who bought into the fad because you knew who doesn't have a tramp stamp? Me. Honestly, like
You got the Japanese character.
that, but that was right. But at least it wasn't on the tramp stamp, though.
Thank God.
There was something to be said about people that got them in that place. Because people that got them in that place, it was a statement. It was like
Right.
every time you bent over, someone was going to see it. You did it on purpose. So I agree that I'm part of the Japanese symbolism club, but I'm better because I didn't. I'm better because I didn't put it on my fucking tramp stamp area because everybody knew you were fucking, you wanted to get fucked and you were easy. That's what it meant. Gross.
There was a guy at my high school, like you would say like popular, like he was the outgoing guy, like athlete, and he just talked charismatic. Okay, he had a tramp stamp.
I was gonna say, please tell me he didn't.
He
have
had a
one.
tramp stamp.
No way.
Yeah.
Does that mean
Yeah.
he's gay?
I wonder.
Like, cause that's weird to me.
I mean, but
that's
like
weird.
Well, coming back to, okay, well, let's bridge the gap back to the trans conversation
Yeah,
and
okay.
detransitioners, because even that's like sexuality. The sexualities can be fluid. Gender and our body,
Yeah.
our sex,
Cannot.
No.
not.
But you can dress in a way that, you know, you can express yourself in a manner that of the way you dress.
Look at us right now.
Another perfect
Yeah.
example
Yeah.
here. Another perfect example. Our 4 foot tall camera boy over here in the
Boom.
corner.
All black.
Your super dyke fucking camo overalls. It doesn't get much more dykey than
Hunting
this.
gear.
And then your fucking lipstick over here. What's up, girl?
I'm in camo too.
Yeah, but you look
Yeah, but
good.
those are tight.
Yeah.
Those are tight camo
You look
pants.
good.
I got these from Goodwill.
Yeah, they're nice.
They were a good find.
They were a good find. Yeah. You look good. So we got the spectrum. 4 foot boy, dyke, lipstick.
Perfect.
What's up?
Don't label me.
Don't label me.
No, but it's interesting, Alora, because, and I'm really glad that you also shared your story, your perspective, because that's also, I think all of us have our own experiences of coming home to ourself.
Thank you. Yeah, coming home to ourselves. That we're missing that right now.
Yeah.
We're not talking about that. No, you don't know at 16 who you are. And even at that's what I'm saying about becoming more conservative. At 24, you don't know who you are. At 30, you don't know who you are. We voted Trudeau at 35. We don't know who we are. I just turned 43. Now I'm like starting. I'm starting to like really love who I am, really like accept who I am, really do the things that I'm passionate about, speak my truth that I've always done, but like maybe more articulate and less hatefully.
Can you imagine, Jess, if you were 15 years old or when you were 15 years old and you were given the green light on getting whatever done to your body that you could. So
man.
tattoos, surgery, right?
Thumbs up. 2 thumbs up for me.
See, I would have been by 15. By 15, I think I would have been past it. But if you had have asked me at 13, or because I was a bit of a late bloomer, so I didn't get my period till grade 8. If you had have asked me at that point when I was going through puberty, this is what worries me, because most of these kids that are transitioning, it's actually prepubescent or pubescent.
Yeah.
And that's what really worries me, because these are the kids that are just going through puberty and haven't shown necessarily signs of it. It's just discomfort with their body.
Yep.
And especially athletic girls, this is something that they don't want to go through. I'm speaking firsthand. And right? And so this is the big concern for me is puberty blockers 100% are not reversible. And I really get so frustrated when I hear, I've heard doctors, I've heard politicians. It's so crazy for me that I'm just a normal average person that took some medical school courses for sales sometime and learned a few things. But it's amazing to me that they can't read basic studies that do 100% show that you cannot reverse that.
Yep.
That once you've stopped a girl from getting her period, it is like not guaranteed. I know someone that's kid's been off of it, been waiting for 3 years to have a period again. And she's only like 15.
Wow.
So think about the age back. She may not. And I don't know personally a boy, but I've read a lot on boys and heard a lot of people speak on boys, and they've got micro dicks for the rest of their lives. Like my fucking pinky is going to be their dick.
You've stopped the natural cycle, the progression
so
of their own
sad.
body, of what their body's trying to do naturally. And you stunt it, you stop it, you block it, you're traumatizing it. And
It's what we give men that are sex offenders. It's the same stuff that you'd give a man to castrate them. It's the same drug.
is it really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
See, like I chose steroids for mine because I knew that I don't think I didn't want to go down the road of transitioning.
So your voice, is that your voice is manipulated because of steroids?
100%.
Oh, I just thought you had a
No,
better.
I also have a bit of a cold because I came back from like the Arnold.
Oh, yeah.
But no, my voice definitely is lower.
From
Interesting.
steroids.
Yeah, from about 5 years, 6 years of steroids, and it felt awesome being on it.
Okay, so when did you start taking it?
Math is hard. Time is not real.
Just go like by early 20s?
Yeah,
Late?
early 20s. I met my wife 2015, so I would say 2015 because I remember I just started taking steroids before I met her, which I felt was better than meeting her and having to have the conversation whether to
Right.
start it. I'm like, I'm already on it.
Is that
Take it or leave
is that
it.
testosterone though? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, like it.
Is that what you mean by steroids? Testosterone?
Yes.
Okay. I
Yes.
just want to clarify because I don't know. Do you mind me asking?
No, I don't care. Yeah, no, it's not like test, which is like testosterone, but it's steroids that bring up your own testosterone and progesterone and like make your estrogen obviously lower, right?
Because there is studies that show for women our age, my age, it's beneficial to start taking some extra testosterone because I don't want to confuse people thinking because I'm actually interested in potentially looking into that because like Roseanne's taking tea and she looks fucking great.
Yeah.
But like naturally, I don't know. I haven't really spent enough time. I'm too busy and I want to look into it, but I haven't done it yet. But
No, that would be obviously for like hormones and for health. This was for like the gym.
okay, gotcha.
Right.
So this wasn't about transitioning.
No, but
it
I
was.
use that
Okay.
as a way to get around in my mind of I'm not going to transition as in cut off my boobs, blah, blah. I'm going to use this to tiptoe on the fence of being like masculine versus like actually going that way.
To help you become more masculine.
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
As masculine of a female as you can be.
As I could be.
Interesting.
Which I don't know if that's better or worse or healthier. And I don't know. Like,
Well, so from that point, from the peak of your working with steroids and becoming very masculine to where you are now, what's the difference in the relationship you have with yourself
right now,
versus
back then, I feel balanced now. Maybe because I did get to experience what it was like to be like the masculine self that I, right? But now I definitely feel balanced as in like more feminine.
Yeah, because dude, you're
masculine.
super gay. You
Super
want to come
gay.
in here and pull fucking cards and shit. Like that's gay.
I know.
That's not a guy doesn't want to come in here and pull fucking cards.
I know. I love oracle cards, art,
Yeah.
mushroom journeys.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't fucking
So
know.
and it's funny because I see like we've talked about this like I don't see that like man. Right? Like
Yeah.
just like maybe you don't see I don't know, maybe I don't
I
know
see
that-
both. I see both sides, just like I see both of your energies. I see both the masculine and
Yeah. Well, no, I
feminine
see that. I
energies,
see
yeah.
that. But that's what I mean. I don't see you and me being different. I see us being tomboys.
Right.
That's what I see. You
Right.
just take it to more of an extreme.
With what?
Your hair and
fuck.
your clothes
Yeah.
and right like the extreme is that I dress in a way that I want to look like I want to look like good like sexy like I want my wife to think I'm attractive whereas like I don't feel like you're looking in the mirror going
Damn.
like that.
No, I'm comfortable.
You're like,
this is
well,
me.
I don't mean
Yeah.
like
No.
comfortable,
Yeah.
but I mean like you want to look manly in the mirror.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
and
yeah,
I don't want to leave the house. Okay, let me make this very clear. I don't want to leave the house and anyone think, is that a man? That's not what I'm looking for. And I have a feeling
Yeah.
you may leave the house and not care if someone was like, was that a guy?
I don't care,
You
yeah.
might be like, sweet,
Yeah.
fooled you, motherfucker.
And I do.
Gotcha.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. So
my God.
that's what I mean. That's the
gotcha.
difference. Like, yeah. Like
so interesting.
I still feel like I'm posing for motorcycle guys.
So-
Like
oh
I'm like, what's up?
Calendar.
You want me bent over this or how do you want this one to go?
It's so interesting.
Yeah.
And what's interesting too, Alora, is that when you got to experience both sides.
Yeah.
Where you got to experience what it feels like to be in that hyper masculine body and image and perception that you're showing to the outside world. And then to come back to more of the balanced version of you, it gives you perspective to see both sides.
Yeah. And I mean, that's why I think I'm friends with both of you, because my friendships with each of you is different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and I love it.
Yeah.
Because I get to experience like more feminine, and then
And then for us, it's like, for me, it actually feels like you're one of my guy friends.
yeah, it's amazing.
Like-
I love it.
But with more,
Emotion.
yeah, it's actually like the best, because sometimes male friendships feel empty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're like, they're good, but
It's just empty.
they're
Like, there's
empty.
nothing.
It's empty.
It's harder to go deeper.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can talk about, the stuff that's going on. You can talk about politics and they're fired up and it's great. But like emotionally, it's just a bit like, but then sometimes Jen is just too much feeling, too much like, and you got to just like get to the shit and just fucking cut to the fucking chase. You know what I mean?
I like to feel though. Like, I like to feel. I like to talk.
Yeah. Yo, I like to feel and I like to talk too, but it's different. You can just like cut to the chase and fucking and have like conversations that if I'm having them with Jen, sometimes there's too much involved.
Wait, one of our friends I was like psychoanalyzing something and explaining something. She was, "Oh, that was a lot of thinking." And to me, I'm like, "No, that wasn't."
Yeah, whereas me, I would have been like, she's fat, that she needs to eat, that's the problem, done. Right? Like clear and cut. And I could say that to you, and I don't have to talk about all the insensitive bullshit, and then she wants, and I'd be like, but yeah, and I know that, but we don't have to talk about it. Like we can just cut to the chase. Make it like, you need to do this.
Yeah.
You need to eat meat.
That's it.
Stop
That's the
eating junk
masculine
food.
energy for sure.
And stop being a fucking victim. Get up.
Wow.
Suck it up. Move on.
Move on.
Anyway.
I love it. I fucking love it. Was there anything in your book that you have over there that you want to
Oh yeah, because we had stuff from that we wanted to discuss from the last episode that we
didn't touch on?
Yeah, one of them being pronouns.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so, but before we do that, I did, remember autogynephilia?
Yes.
Do you remember what it means?
No.
Okay, so I want to read the definition of that because I wanted to do, I don't know if I did that in the last episode. I didn't think I did. And I just wanted to talk about it so that we knew what it was.
Okay.
And that's where a man gets turned on at the thought of him dressing as a female. Okay? So I really need to make that clear, because that's when we talk about like it's unsafe. Like this is what we're talking about, right? Like I'm sorry, but it's not normal to have the 50-year-old professor competing with 13-year-old girls in Toronto as a swimmer. That's autogynephilia. He's getting turned on at the thought of him putting on that bathing suit, tucking his penis up, and being in a change room with 13-year-old girls. That's sexually arousing him. Okay? That's autogynephilia.
Barf.
That's a mental illness.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we as Canadians are so worried about virtue signaling that we're letting these girls be put into positions.
Dangerous situations.
Apparently, I'm shocked to hear this, but I have, you guys know me, I have a lot of inside people. Apparently, it's starting to come out that these parents are mortified and that a lot of them weren't aware at the beginning of what was going on. So I'll give them credit, because people are so fucking brainwashed right now that they don't even know what the fuck's going on. So at first they may not really like understand. Yeah. And then now a lot of these people apparently are like making tents around their daughters, like change tents and shit, because so this is actually becoming an issue. People are getting pissed off, not as much as they should be, but it's nice to know that they're not just like completely bowing down to it. But this is the main concern for me, is not that there's intersex people that are going to be a baby is born today with a weird penis. He's going to be raised with that his whole life. He's not a mentally ill person. He's just a poor kid that's, going to have some stuff he's got to work through.
Yep.
There's a difference. There's a difference between people that are trans and people that have mental illness.
Yep.
And right now we have a mental illness epidemic where 90% of these people are fakesters. Remember how 10 years ago we had pedophiles? Do you remember that? Remember those people called pedophiles? Now they're called minor attracted persons, but back in the day they were called pedophiles. And they would be at parks and you'd hear about it. Like you'd be like, yo, did you hear about the guy that came in the trench coat and flashed everybody? That was real. You worked at CAS. They were called pedophiles. They were community threats. Okay. Now they swim with our kids.
I'm pretty sure they also had to register.
Yeah.
So where they were living, they had to make it known to that community.
Yeah. But now that is against their
rights.
Their rights. And so if they're trans, then they'll just say that they're trans, and there's nothing that
Crazy.
So I'm just trying to make a point that we're letting the guys that used to hide in the bathrooms, and we're just letting them now do it out in the open. That's literally what's happening. They go to pride parades and they're exposing. I showed you the picture. My wife was mortified. I showed you the picture of the girl walking through the pride, and there was a man with a boner. I showed you the picture.
Older man, yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
And she's just like, it's so, but that's I just have to clarify to people.
It's desensitizing people. That's what, this is mass desensitizing our perception around what's healthy, what's not healthy, what's okay, what's not okay. It's desensitizing our boundaries around safety for children.
It's not homophobic or transphobic to say that grown adults exposing themselves in public places where children and families are going to be is not appropriate. That is not homophobic or transphobic. That is fucking common sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bam, that's a real.
Taking them to those places and allowing that feels like grooming.
100%. 100% that's grooming.
That's
100%.
That's normalizing. That's normalizing
Yeah.
from the child's perspective that's okay.
And people like you and me that went and felt
Ew.
that.
Yeah.
That's happening to other people, but they're just like I don't.
Well, I guess it's okay. Everybody's saying it's okay, and it's being pushed on us so hard. And if I say anything against it, people are gonna be really upset. And people are afraid to fucking speak their mind.
That's why the conservative numbers are so high.
Absolutely.
Because they know.
Yeah.
People know deep down that this is wrong. We're old enough to know that we got taught about grooming. We got taught about all this stuff, and now they're telling us to disregard our innate God-given gut feelings. They're telling us that they're gaslighting us and telling us that as gay women married that we're homophobic and transphobic. I'm pedophilia phobic, motherfucker. That's what I am.
It started, part of doing this podcast started with us being able to just speak openly about our perception or our perspective around what's going on, and being members of our community and being in a same-sex relationship. We felt more comfortable having a voice to speak out about these matters, but it shouldn't have to be that way. Anybody that doesn't agree should be also feel that they're safe to have an opinion.
100%. Yep.
I guess this is where, we're going, this is part of, discussion with RPAN, is that this is a slippery slope around not having the freedom to speak.
I mean,
it's dangerous.
It is dangerous. You want to know something funny? I'll tell you something really funny. The more that I speak, the less people cancel me. It's so funny. Okay, here's an example. I don't know why I follow the City of London still, because I don't live there anymore. But I do. And every time they post something, I generally make fun of it. And so they posted this thing about the Can Fit. It's the firefighter fitness center thing. And it's a soft spot for me because Evelyn's dad wanted to be a firefighter and he did all the work and we spent a lot of money and time, and he never made it in that. He's a volunteer and he does a lot of training and he trains them now, so that's great. But I'm just saying, 20 years ago when he should have been doing it, getting paid, a lot of money, he couldn't do it because he was white. Literally, like that's the truth. That's what he got told. You don't meet the ethnicity criteria. Like, we're only looking for, like, you're blonde hair and blue eyed. We're not hiring that right now. So I wrote, because it said, like, quality applicants, like, apply, blah, blah, blah. And I said, what you're saying is, if you're white, or don't apply. If you're a white man, don't apply. If you're a small woman that's not qualified, if you're a black man that's not qualified, apply, and we'll put you at a higher rank than the qualified person. And then I said, at the end of the day, no one in a fire cares if the firefighter saving them is black, white, male, female. All they care about is that they can save them from the fire. Okay? That it's the best man for the job. Okay. And of course, this black guy chimes in about, and it's so weird. He like went to my Instagram, which is public. His, of course, is locked. And because I did the same thing, like creeped on him. And then he looks at my tractor picture and says something like, he comments something like, you can take the liberal out of the girl, but you can't take the girl out of the liberal. I don't get it. I don't understand. So anyways, we go back to the conversation. I go back to the conversation. He's telling me that something about my gender is like why I have such an opinion or something. And I was like, so this is my favorite. Can you tell me more about myself that I don't know? Like, I love this. Like, how are we here? How are you angry with me as a female woman when I said the best man, regardless of race, color, creed, gender, should get the job? How can you at this point already be fired up about me?
What triggered him?
I don't know.
Well, because I said that if you're a white man, don't apply. But I'm in the same statement saying that I don't care if you're a black man or a white man. I just want the best man or woman. I don't care. So that's my point, though, is that, like, you can't discuss. They get fired up. If you're liberal, black, white, it doesn't matter what you are. As long as you're liberal, you're a victim. You think with a victim mentality, okay? So this guy automatically is triggered. And then he's, like, commenting on my private posts. And he commented on a couple. And then I said, whatever my response was great. Like, it was, like, about not being racist and how I should think it should be equal for anybody. Are you saying that you're racist and that you think that black people should have an advantage over white people? Because that's not equality, right?
True.
Yeah.
And then he wrote back, see, I can't have a conversation because you just deflect. He told me that I was deflecting. Or what's the other word that you tell me I do a lot? Project.
Oh.
He's like, you're project. And I was like, what? And like, sometimes I find it interesting because I feel like people like me who aren't as intelligent as my wife in that way with, like, I don't have a university degree. So sometimes when they throw new social terms at you, then you're like, what? Like, what do you mean what do you mean I'm projecting? Like, I just said that my response was that I don't care if you're black, white, male, female, trans. I don't care. Who's the best?
Right.
Who's the best?
That doesn't sound like projecting.
No.
And then
Not at all.
he says we can't have a conversation because I'm projecting, and then I just, at that point I walk away and say, like, you're retarded, and no one comes after me. So that's how I know that you can't, like, once you just speak your truth, no one cares.
Truth is truth. You can't fight with truth.
Right. So if I'm such a racist, people should have come after me at that point. It's the city of London. There's a lot of comments. People should have been, but no one does. Why? Because people agree with me.
Yeah.
Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because people agree. And they don't even want to like the comment, but they don't want to dislike it because they agree. They know I'm right.
You are right.
And it's the same with trans. This is all the same conversation. This is just about being nice. Nobody wants to talk about the people that are hurt, the society of people that we're going to have.
Well, the amount of people pleasing is actually destroying and causing more harm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Where are we at for time? Just so I know.
We're an hour 10,
Oh, wow. Okay.
That flew by.
Yeah, as usual.
as usual.
Now, I don't know if Jen wants to touch on this, because we kind of touched on that. Oh, we didn't really touch on pronouns.
Yeah, I want to talk about pronouns.
Yeah, let's do that. And then I don't know if you want to talk about gender neutral parenting if we have time. If not, that's fine. We can do an episode on that later. End of academic freedom. I don't know if you want to talk about that, but
Sure.
that was something that was on the list. So pronouns and end of academic freedom.
Okay, well, the pronouns, I remember when they were coming in, like to be, again, as a movement.
So about 2015, 16?
Yeah, and it felt like there was like this social obligation to follow suit. You know, with your social media, you should be identifying what your pronouns are, and I put them on there, and then you're like, get those fucking things down. I was like, oh yeah, like it felt like social pressure to do it. That's why I did it.
But I think you did it later. Like I think you did it post like 2020 Black Lives Matters.
Oh, I'm late on all things.
I think, and then that's when I was like really, really waking up to everything, and I was like, finally, I don't know what year it was that she still had she, her, and I go, we know. Like, you know what? Whenever I creep somebody's profile that like I think I might like or something, and they fucking have pronouns, you know what I do? No, I don't. I of course don't follow them, but I message them and I say, "Oh, I'm so glad that you have your pronouns listed. I almost didn't notice that you were a 6 foot tall, smoking hot black man, and because of your pronouns, I won't follow you." And I literally say that, and I know they don't care, but you know what? That's how I express myself, and they never respond, but I don't care, because that's how I tell people that I'm not going to tolerate it.
Yep.
I'm not going to tolerate it.
You're not going to play the game.
Not going to play the game. And you know what? You could be a cool guy, but I'm never going to know because...
You know, an old friend from another life that I've lived here in this world, she has her pronouns as she, they, not because she identifies as a they, them, but to be inclusive for people who do.
That's so fucked.
That's so fucked.
How fucking confusing is that?
That's so fucked. But then, see, I don't even get how that could be fair, because then isn't that taking away from people that actually do identify, even though I don't believe in it, as they, them?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, so anybody can just be they, them? So I can just have a they, them so that you feel
I'll
comfortable?
identify as gay just to help other people feel comfortable identifying as gay?
Right.
That's fucked up.
That's fucked. So,
know, man.
like, yeah, 100%.
I feel
That's so fucked.
I feel I felt, I don't know what year, like a pressure to put like you know.
Yeah.
Has
they,
anyone ever said to you like about that?
Oh my
God.
God.
A client or something, or
No, I was actually in a cafe and a guy was serving me.
No.
And at the end he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't ask you what your pronouns are." And I go, I don't care. Like I don't think I answered him because I really don't care.
I would have said fuck Trudeau.
That's my pronouns. Fuck Trudeau. No, like I
That's
literally do
crazy.
not care. That's why I.
You know what I would say?
What?
Had I paid yet? Had you paid yet?
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah,
would have said like, okay, well my pronouns are, can I have a refund? Because I'm not having a no.
Yeah.
100%. I would say that.
No, like I don't care if they do, but
I do.
I don't care what you also call me. Like I
But
really
why?
don't
But why
care.
do they have to ask you what you? Why do you not care? Why do they have to ask you your pronouns?
Because I think they just want. I think
It's for them.
it's for them.
It's not about her. It's for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
they will want to be respectful.
But you're the customer.
I know.
I know, but they're virtue signaling.
Yeah.
I
Don't you
know
see
that. I know that. But she's like, I don't care.
I don't care if Jen calls me a he and you call me a she in the same sentence because I know who I am.
That's
Yeah, but okay. But do we know you, or are we strangers?
You know me. But that means I definitely do not care what strangers call me.
Alora is saying she doesn't get offended.
Right. I don't get offended. It's where like people get miss all the time.
Yes.
And they get so offensive. I'm like,
Okay, I'll tell you why. I told you guys the story about when I was like 18 or 17 and I was in the grocery store with my mom, and Peter Rumis asked if I was my mom's son. I told you that. Did I ever tell you that story?
Yes.
Do you know how mortified I was?
You were, or like your mom was.
Probably
both.
both of us.
Wow.
But I remember my mom like trying to be like
Yeah.
kind of like because my mom always took issue with me because I wasn't what she wanted.
Right.
She wanted a very girly girl, and I was like not gonna have it. And So I think she was trying to be like nice about it, but that affected me for a long fucking time. The fact that someone thought that I was a boy, like that was mortifying for me.
See, that's my everyday. Like as
Mortifying.
As a kid, I was like, people would say, "Oh, your son," to my mom or like to my dad.
Yeah, but didn't you want it because you had short hair?
I don't know.
You wanted it.
Maybe I don't know.
Look, when I got misgendered as a kid too, because I wore Adidas
You had the Chinese haircut.
Yeah, I had a short haircut. I looked like my brother. I wanted to look like my brother. But when I look back, like when we're talking about it now with Alora, she's so secure in herself that she's not taking offense to things.
No, and that's fair, but I think I'm getting more to the point of like if I go into to order a coffee and the guy goes, "What's your gender?"
It's obviously
or "What's
a girl.
your pronoun?"
You're obviously a girl.
Yeah. But even if I'm not, why?
Do they have to ask?
Yes.
'Cause I
like,
think it's
why
the
don't you just
virtue.
say whose name for the fucking coffee? Like, remember?
Yeah.
What do I put on? What do you want me to
Because
put for
people
your
are
name?
afraid to fucking speak, Jess.
Yeah.
So
Nobody
that's what
wants
I'm saying.
to speak.
It's not that I would be mad. It's that why do you have to? Why do we have to do this?
I don't know.
This is all virtue signaling, and people are so precarious around how they are identified in the public sphere that if you don't get it right, you are being discriminatory.
Well, because you'll get those trans activists that will wear a camera everywhere they go. Have you seen that one guy? And he'll post a video. If you, God help, if the guy says, "Sir," it's so funny. And he goes, "I'm not a sir." And the guy goes, "You look like a sir to me." It's so funny, and he gets so triggered.
Same, yeah.
But the guy just won't give in, and I'm like, that's me. Like, I just don't get why you got to go into a store and ask, like, why can't I just order a coffee?
I don't know.
Like, it's just in everything. It's just infected in everything.
Well, I guess that's the woke culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean we have to play the game, but although, it's we're talking about it, so we are.
No, for sure.
For
Sure. But talking about it gets you in trouble. And we can move into the end of academic freedom because expressing your opinion gets you into a whole lot of trouble.
Anybody that's governed under anything, like all healthcare professionals, if the pandemic didn't teach us fucking anything, it's just that healthcare professionals are afraid to fucking speak.
Right.
Because they're governed under a certain body that is pushing also this certain agenda, and if you don't oblige, you're going against you're a bad boy, you're a bad girl.
Right.
Or you're a bad they.
Yeah. Oh my God. You're a bad zur.
You're a bad zur
I don't know.
I remember seeing that book for toddlers of all the different pronouns, and there's like 13 or 14 different pronouns. It's basically like just the alphabet. They're playing with just letters in the alphabet. That's all it is.
But teach them the alphabet. They need to know that. China's got 8-year-olds assembling fucking automatic weapons, and we can't
And we're like, there is that, and he does your.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter.
I just want to be able to look. Like what I'm trying to get at is I just want to go to a store and it just be about the people, the connection between people.
Yeah.
That we don't have to tiptoe. We don't have to get offended. Just be like, "Good day." Like I don't care if you don't call me ma'am or sir. You could just say, "Good day."
Yep.
What can I get for you?
Don't you think that all of that though is creating more disconnection between people, and that we're walking on eggshells between people,
Because
and
people-
we're
you're right.
losing connection. We're losing the heart-to-heart connection.
Because people don't want to interact with people anymore because they're afraid of saying the wrong thing.
Correct. The political correctness has gotten so far out of hand that people are it's just easier just to avoid.
Right.
Yep.
That's interesting.
That's dangerous.
I felt
that's
like
our
that-
loss of humanity.
Remember that little cafe we went to that we really liked the other day?
Yeah.
Maybe like at the beginning that girl was a bit standoffish because maybe she doesn't know you and they had the dispute with that, and like, and then we start chatting and then all of a sudden she's like super nice, but it's like, okay, like these people aren't going to yell at me. They're gay, right? Like we're gay. Like a lot of people can know that we're together. And so it's like, fuck. Are they fucking woke gays or like what the fuck?
What kind of gay are you?
But then we start chatting and then she's like loosened up and a great conversation. But I find I have to I'm always having to do this to get people to open up because people don't want to.
You have to speak up more in order to engage with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think there's a generational issue happening right now where, kids can't function. Like a lot of kids can't function in the workplaces. Like, I remember working for Starbucks, and the first thing you do when somebody walks in the store, within like 10 seconds of them walking in the store, you make eye contact and you greet them.
Right.
Versus, I go into some of these stores now and I greet the
You have
staff.
to greet them. They can't make eye
They
contact.
can't make eye contact.
right.
They're on their phone.
Blue Mountain was terrible for that.
Blue
Mountain was
fucking
brutal.
woke as
Don't go to.
shit.
Don't waste your
Don't go
money at
there.
Blue Mountain.
Oh god.
Go to fucking what's it called? Horseshoe.
Horseshoe.
Is there a place called Horseshoe or something?
White horseshoe.
White horse.
don't know.
White horse.
White horse.
No,
I
I
don't
think
know.
I think there's a place around Barrie called
it's-
Horseshoe or something like that, and it's a cute little resort. But that's where we'll be going next time. because-
Actually, okay, so Blue Mountain, when we were there, we were chatting with staff because everywhere we go, Jess chats with people, and staff in most of the stores, even the ones that were gay, were fed up with all the pride shit.
yeah,
that
there was
taking
one
place.
young girl. She couldn't have been in more than her early 20s.
Yeah.
And she was saying that she's like, I like girls, but I feel like I'm fucking homophobic because she's like, I tell them like this is too much. Like we don't this is so much, like we already have fucking June. Like
Yeah, and Family Day at Blue Mountain, they were having drag queens come to perform, and staff in the stores were saying it's brutal when they come because they get wasted, and then they create problems, and they get really loud, and they go into the stores and they cause issues.
So all the gays and the drag queens get liquored up, and then they invite them. Come on, this is where there's kids and shit. So then they get all wasted, and they go shopping in the village and through all the stores drunk. And all the kids witness this. And this is what kids grow up thinking that fucking fags are all about. They're all about drinking, being in drag, being, over the top. This is completely
For Family Day.
unnormalizing family.
Yep.
Okay. And gay, you know what? Gay people can still have a, quote unquote nuclear family, right? Like that's kind of something that bugs me when they say like destroying the family. We can still, I consider us to be a nuclear family without, to a degree, like we have conservative values. And I don't pretend that I'm trying to be a male, female, like, come on, I'm not trying to do that, but they're making it seem like if you're gay, you're a freak, man. Like you're into fucking weird sexual shit and you want your kids to be into it. And like, it's very weird to me. It's very weird that gays are now being, caught up in this sexualization and fetish. We can't just be normal law, conservative citizens that want to
Family values,
Yeah,
and to
they
raise
have-
our daughter, and
yeah.
to be farmers, and
yeah.
but that we're into like fetishes.
Yeah. And
Like,
we don't
that's what
like
being gay is.
yeah.
Yeah, that's not it whatsoever.
Sorry. Yeah. Any final thoughts?
Gay people aren't all weirdos. But, trans people are 100%.
I think there's going to be okay, so just to come back to the transitioners, detransitioners,
Some gay people are weird.
anybody who has surgery has to recover.
Yeah.
There's always so much healing that happens, and because it's you're cutting off part of your body, it's trauma to your body,
Right.
and your body needs so much time and healing in order to recover from something like that. This is years.
Yeah.
And so just as Alora said, that the pendulum has swung so far to this extreme that now it's starting to balance back out and it's coming back to the other side. And when it does, we hold compassion and we hold patience and we help people come back to their light of who they are, their own authentic light, and we support them and their body in the healing process.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Yep.
I like that.
I like that too.
I like that too. There may be an I told you so in there, just like COVID.
Yeah.
But, sounds a lot like COVID in that respect. But,
It does.
Right. But
It does. It really does. Whoever got caught up in the psyops and in the programming, in the
Divisiveness.
divisiveness, whoever got caught up in that, it's not about right or wrong. It's about
Yeah.
coming back home.
Yeah.
Like it's, and there are still our brothers and sisters.
Yeah. Okay, well, on that note, peace out, rabbit.